Hi everyone, in this video we are going to see about a gas safety device where it will turn off the gas when a gas leakage is detected, and you can also turn on and turn off the cylinder using the switch. Off. So the components required to do this project are a gas sensor, a switch, a servo motor, a buzzer, and an Arduino. And this is the schematic of the project. As I was not having a jumper, I just connected using a single-stranded wire. And you can see that this is a switch where it has a double connection. But you can use these types of switches too. But I had this switch, so I am just using these types of switch. So you can also change the switch by just connecting these two terminals over here. As you can see over here, that this is our code. And at first the code might look a bit bigger, but it is very simple. I'll just explain it. So if you see over here at first, hash includes servo.h. That is like we are defining the servo library. As in the last video, we have seen about liquid crystal.h, which is LCD display. Here we are seeing servo.h because we are using a servo motor, and as we are not using LCD display, there is no LCD.h, liquid crystal.h. So as we are using servo motor, we are including the library servo.h. And after that, servo my servo. The second line, if you see, servo my servo. Here, what they are saying is, it is just a variable. So for the servo of a servo, even I can name, like for example, motor. Anything. Or you can name for better understanding, we are just adding a variable called my servo. So if you see the third line, const byte button pin equals 3. So which is constant byte, where button pin is equal to 3. So I'm just creating a variable where I am telling that this variable named button pin is equals 3. So if we see next, that int SARVAL equals 10. So it is also another variable called SARVAL servo value, which is equal to 0. It is just a variable which is equal to a value 0. And if you see the next line, which is just again a simple normal variable. So if you see the next line, int port pin, which is same, it is just a variable which is equal to 0 or number. So like that we are defining till here. Till here, hopefully we are just defining a variable equals a number. So Arduino has a inbuilt resistor in its microcontroller which enables the pull-up for that pin only the second pin. Where the button pin, which is our third pin, so which will do a pull up for the third. So if you see the next line, serial.begin, which is very common, just initializing the serial monitor and setting the baud rate line 600. And if you see the next line, pin mode buzzer output, where the buzzer, which is 12th pin. So 12th pin as an output. As we are connecting our buzzer in the 12th pin, we are setting that as an output. And if you see in the next line, my servo.attach 9, where you can see over here servo my servo. So we change that servo header file into a variable called my servo. So my servo.attach. So I am telling it that I have connected in the 9th pin. And if you see the next line, my servo.write. So we are telling the servo to go to the 0 angle. So the angle 0. And if you see over here, it always tells about the angle. So angle 0. And if you see the next line, void alarm, where I have created a new void where it needs to call it to start it. So you can see void alarm 1, which looks similar to void setup and void loop. So this is something similar to that. And it contains every code like similar to void setup and void loop. And if you see the void setup, it just happens one time. And it doesn't even need to call it. It happens automatically. But if you see this one, we need to call it. So we need to say that to start the code which is inside this void. So we have to call it, and everything in this line happens only once. So it is similar to void setup, but it doesn't start automatically. We have to say it to start. So if you see the next one, void loop, similar. If you see in the void loop, byte switch 0 equals digital read button pin. So I am just writing the data which we get from the button pin, which is high or low. We are transferring that data to the switch 0 variable. So again it checks that if switch 0 is equals low, so it checks that is it low or high, which if it is high, what it will do is it will write 90 ACER which is a variable. It will make that variable equals 90. So after that, my servo dot write ACER. So it tells the servo to go to the angle 90 degree. So if you see the next line, which is just a normal serial print. So if you see the next line, VAL is equal to analog read port pin. So it again the variable VAL equals to the port pin which we are getting from the gas sensor. So I'll just name it as a port pin. But there you will get the data from the gas sensor. So if you see in the next line, I'm just using a simple if else. So you can see if value is greater than 200. So the gas value is greater than 200. And you can also vary this. You can also vary to 300 according to yours, because sometime it might trigger to that small gas and a little off. At that time, you can just increase it a little. So if you see the next line, my servo dot write is 0, where I am telling the servo to go to the 0th pin, which is the off position. So it will go to, if it is detected, it will go to the off position and alarm 1. If alarm 1, here you can see I have made a void alarm 1. So it calls it. So it just calls this one, where it just redirects it to here and it starts them. So here we'll just print in serial monitor alarm, and you can see that tone buzzer, 1800. So 1800 is the frequency and the buzzer is the pin. You can see buzzer is equal to 12. So it makes that frequency in the 12th pin. So delay 300. After 300 milliseconds, it does for the frequency 1700 for the same 12th pin. So it just high to high. And for that sequence, I just increased the delay one by one. So after that, if you see over here, tone buzzer, 1800, delay around 999. So it will be around for 99 minutes or around 100 minutes. So it will be there for above 1 hour, near to 2 hours. So for that time, it will be keep on ringing that there is a gas leak detected and you need to turn off the gas. So you can also change the delay by however you want. And after that, if you see exit 0, where it will exit from the total void loop. So the void loop itself will stop using this exit 0 command. And after that line, you can see else. If it is detected, it should do all of these things. If not, else, what it will do is my servo write 0. You might be confused for this if. This else is for this if, but this else is for this total if. So if the switch is equal to low, it does the things which is inside. It checks for the gas leaks. So if the switch is high, it just turns it off. So if the switch is low, it turns on the gas. So the code is very simple. Now let's see the output. If you see here, the center one is just on. So you can see it went to the on position, and here it went to off position. So if I turn it on, and here is a buzzer too. Now it is turned on. And if I leak the gas, then this lighter. You can see that the buzzer is alarming and it went to off. So the buzzer will be keep on ringing. And if I click reset, It will reset and go back to on position according to the switch.